Me take on any girl, you know what I mean? Because me is just somebody normal, you know. And such throughout life now, if I hope a girl love you, I want to deal with you, I want to marry you, or so you say it's nothing. People are just people. I am Grub Cooper, visually impaired Jamaican citizen. Music is my forte. I've been doing music professionally for 52 years, possibly a little more. It depends how you look at it. Millions of children all over the world are drawn into needless wars, living in a living hell. So like that now, I have to put the music to that, you know, so work to it. I basically came through the system as an amateur youngster until I was about 17 years old. Then I went pro. I've been pro from then, which was 1968-ish, to now. I do gospel music also. I write that. I write for the Grace Thrillers and produce for the Grace Thrillers and other gospel groups. But my mainstay is the Grace Thrillers. I've done some over 15 albums with them, I would think. Written like 30 odd songs for them. I've worked with Ziggy Marley, Bob Marley, Rita Marley, the entire Marley family. I have achieved so much in life, and I give thanks for it, even though I'm coming from a situation where I've been, you know, had a bad start, out of the starting blocks, visually impaired from birth. So that's been something that has been there all my life, living in two levels of my life, living in a real world and living in a world that's imperfect in terms of an individual's physical state. I've had a lot of ups and downs because sometimes it's difficult to navigate that space. Some people understand, some don't. And when you become famous, some people will bash you and some will go to them way to help you. So it's difficult in that sense, but then who said life was ever easy, you know? I was born in Linstead, St. Catherine. Came from a pretty good home, upper middle class, then sort of thing, you know? So, but then that meant nothing when you were a little tot. You just know you're in a home. There were problems between my mother and father at the time. We became victims of that, myself and my brother Conroy. He's deceased now. And we were part of the breaking up of the home in terms of we ended up on the road with our mother, along with a couple of my siblings and other sister. The landlady in her stupid wisdom decided that, no, them people is a waste of time because my mother wasn't paying rent and thing because, you know, never had no money. So whereas she and the other sister could do work, we were just there. So no, we can't stay here. So we got put out of the yard one evening, put on a bus to Kingston, end up in Greenwich Town, end up at a police station, end up running up and down to find somewhere for stay, ending up going to court, children court, whatever. Ended up going to Royal Cobra Approved School in Spanish Town, which is a place for bad boy. We weren't bad, but that was a recommendation at the time. Being at Royal Cobra, they tried to put us in regular school. Can't work, bad vision, can't hardly see blackboard. So it never made any sense. So back to court, a judge said, no, Salvation Army Institute for the Blind is the way to go. It allowed me to integrate with other people. We grew up kind of from a broken home on the road, you know, really integrate with nobody. So that was a new process, you know, for me in particular. Children who you had a structured life, breakfast time, devotion, school, you know. And in that situation, so I learned the Braille system. And I realized I had some kind of a music talent, but I didn't think it was anything unique. Playing the harmonica at age 5, doing like a singing at age 5, 6, them age, and not sounding bad. But I thought everybody could do it, you know what I'm saying? It's just a natural thing. You're a kid, you don't know what's talent from what is not talent. Really in life is not the way you start, you don't know. You stumble out of the starting blocks so you go in the race, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of stumble out of the blocks, in a way. But when you grow with an impairment, whatever it is, so when you're born with that thing, you don't know what the real story is. If you're born blind, you'll never know what having sight is, because that's your world, yeah? And so you, like I say, you learn to navigate. I accept what it is, because you can't change it except if science come with a vibes and say, yeah, man, we can give back your full vision and then so bam, bam, and put your eye on a dish and so bloom, 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 and do a thing and bring it back. Without that, you have to accept it. If you don't, you will sit down in your yard, pine away, give up, down or not. We grow up and me kind of different. But you can't any girl, you know what I mean? Because me is just somebody normal, And such short life, you find hope a girl love you, or deal with you, or marry you, or so you say it's not. People are just people, and ultimately it's your character, not your appearance, not your impairments or whatever there is. Not if you're a pretty boy or another. Some people have that, but it's really what's mentally, if you don't click, if there's a chemistry, Visually impaired people, Grub cup raised in the bar and the thing to don't give up. Don't give up. At the point you give up, maybe right on the edge of where your breakthrough gonna come. Right? And never ever think you're less than no guy. You might have a setback. You might be weak in one area because of your setback, but you're strong in other areas. Right? And don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself when you come on to relationship or to integration in the normal world. Right? And I have to commend governments that try now, and organizations like, the Council for Persons with Disabilities and all these people who are lobbying, because sometimes the government is tough, whoever they are, but lobbying and getting things done. I applaud you guys for that. That's really great. But don't think yourselves any less. The sky is the limit, I said that from I was younger. The sky is the limit, man. Just aim for that and you'll get there, right? And faith to the works is there. So not about how God will provide, no matter with it. Do sitting, draw yourself up, lift yourself up. Lift yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, some of you probably only have one boot, or whatever. Some of you guys have one eye. No big thing. Some of you can't hear nothing. You have to sign language it out. But raise yourself up, man. That's what life is all about.